Hello there, everyone. It is the second week of June. We are late, but this is Movies Are Real for the month of May and half of June. I am your host, George.
I am Carrie.
I am the Ryan.
And time doesn't stop, and movies don't stop. Nobody gives a shit. So, we're going to make up for lost time and just go shotgun through all the movies of May and some of the stuff that came out in June that we already saw. So, the first movie we're going to talk about is The Darkness. And when I say talk about, I'm going to say that you shouldn't watch it because it's forgettable and you probably won't be able to find such a fucking generic movie like The Darkness if you searched it on Netflix or what have you, or the Dollar General's dollar bin of DVDs. It's got Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon does nothing very interesting in it. He's kind of cute. I don't know. But the meat here, the bird meat, the fluffy bird meat, and the ham, the bird meat and the ham, Angry Birds the movie. Ryan and Carrie, why don't you tell us a little bit about
The Darkness?
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this animated movie from the video game?
So the Angry Birds movie, based off the hit video game series The Angry Birds.
Right.
Based off crack pipe dream some guy had.
Sure. I don't know where they're from. I was going to say Sweden, but I don't think that's right.
Anyways, this is a movie that should not exist. You definitely feel that watching it. I don't know what to really say about it. The animation looked fine.
It was pretty.
Was it funny?
Nah.
I mean, there's lots of puns and bird puns.
Yeah, there's a lot of puns in it. Mostly like background gags.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Yeah,
I was having fun.
It's a better movie than it should be, but in no way is it a good movie.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That kind of makes sense. What is...
So, like, it should be an F, but it's actually a D-.
Okay. What's the best goof, for better or... unintentionally or intentionally? What's the best
Definitely when they rickrolled us.
That's
That's pretty good, actually.
The soundtrack of this movie was freaking amazing.
It was like all the joke songs from other movies.
Yeah, it was like
in one movie.
Behind Blue Eyes, the Limp Bizkit cover, I Will Survive, Rick Roll, Rick Astley. What else? I know there was one more.
Birds suddenly appear?
Why
Oh,
do
man.
birds?
This sure does sound like a fucking reaching for some sort of something for the audience. Man.
Other than that, who was the main guy?
Jason Sudeikis was
Jason Sudeikis did not want to do this movie.
Okay.
You can really tell by his voice that he did not care. No one else really seemed to care.
Yeah, this also had Josh Gad, Danny McBride, Maya Rudolph, and some other people that are way too talented to be in this film.
It's pretty much just
Bill
Jason
Hader
Sudeikis
and Josh Gad
and Danny McBride.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're the three
Not even
main
Bill Hader?
birds.
Yeah.
Well, he's the main pig,
Right.
so when
He's
it
got
cuts
some
to the
stuff.
pig stuff, it's always him because he's the pig king or whatever.
Okay. So Angry Birds, I think that is enough Angry Birds. So no, not really.
But George, they set up a sequel in the movie.
Do they really?
They set up a sequel.
So by Angry Birds video game canon, this would be Angry Birds Rio, the movie, the game based on the movie. Yeah,
What?
that.
No, they're going Star Wars next.
Sure,
Angry Birds
yeah.
Star Wars.
They're going to space next. But yeah, the movie ends with Bill Hader's pig character being like, "I'll get him after this next dance number," and then he dances for
that
a
sounds
bit.
like...
I Will Survive.
Yeah, that
because
does.
all the pigs are coming out of the rubble because
That
they
does sound like
survived.
Basically,
Yeah.
what you've seen of this movie in the trailers is what it is, and you should not see it.
Sounds like the Shrek formula of like making a movie, but worse.
Don't you dare speak his name on this podcast.
I can't wait till we finally see the. We're here for the gritty Shrek reboot. But moving on. You know who's hammy? And by ham, I mean he fucking oils himself with a hand. Zac Efron. You know what movie he did that in? Neighbors 2, Sorority
He
Rising.
did do that.
Yes, Neighbors 2, the sequel to 2014? Yeah, 2014's
Yeah. Neighbors,
which is a movie about these two people who move in, and then they move in and like, oh, we live to it by a sorority. That sucks. Fast forward a few years later, and now, we're not a sorority. Was it a sorority?
Fraternity.
It was a fraternity in the
First.
first one.
Yeah.
This time it's a sorority, led by Chloe Grace Moretz, and they're like, we're gonna fucking party and fuck your shit up. But, yeah.
And they're all like, we can't have a sorority, we're trying to sell this house. And then they're all trying to get rid of the
They're
sorority.
like, we don't care. Well, they want to play nice, but Zac Efron, who's got some bad blood from the first movie because they've kind of fucked him up.
Even though, like, at the end of the first movie, I thought they, like, settle their differences?
Not really. So at the end of the first movie, after they have their pranks and goofs and pranks, at the end of the movie, they find him in Abercrombie and Finch, and they say hi to him.
Yeah, but then they have a moment where
they're
both shirtless, and they're like, "Hey, we're two guys."
Yeah, I guess so, but it wasn't like, oh, everything's fixed. He's like, he has a criminal record. So.
Yeah, and it's hard for him to get a job.
I mean, I get that.
So yes, this movie works way, way better than the first one. The humor is better. It's kind of poignant. It's fast. Its goofs aren't that dumb. I mean, there's some of them they stick on the joke for a little bit too much. You kind of explain it. I think the tampons, there's a part where they throw tampons at the window of the old people's house. And by old people, I mean Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. So, the 40 to 30-year-old house. And that's kind of funny. I just found the bag of dicks kind of funny. That was funny.
Bag of dicks.
Yeah. Let's talk about Chloe Grace Moretz in this movie. What did you guys think of her in this?
She wasn't really in the movie.
Really?
Not really. I mean, she was there. She didn't really, and they set her up to have an arc, but then she just kind of partied.
I guess
kind of get what I'm saying.
Arc. Yeah.
When they first introduced her, she was talking about how she wants to be in college to find herself, and then she just parties the whole time, and then they just kind of do gags with her, and then it's clearly a lot more about Zac Efron and Seth Rogen having fun.
I guess
getting into bits. I felt
learning how to boil water.
Learning how to boil water. Yeah,
that was probably one of the best goofs in that. It's the goof for Zac Efron's. Are they making pasta? Is that what they're doing? Right. Yeah, and then they're
no, they're making hard-boiled eggs because he's if you boil the egg, it gets hard, and he's like, but why does the egg get hard if the pasta gets soft?
Yeah,
and they're like, whoa.
It's a good goof. Carrie, what do you got to say about this movie?
I mean, I didn't see the first one, so I don't really have anything to compare it to.
Right.
There's not much of a backstory.
Yeah. When it started off with a puke joke, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Oh yeah, that first joke is pretty rough.
But, I don't know, I laughed a bunch of times. There were some times where I was like...
A lot of the goofs don't work, but I feel like more of it works.
And I said that I feel like I would either find this movie different or more enjoyable if I found Zac Efron attractive, because there's that long sequence of him dancing and everyone abandoning all their jobs and what they're supposed to be doing to go watch him dance.
An entire carnival just stops and watches him dance.
Wait a minute.
It just reminded me that Magic Mike XXL was a fucking great movie. That was a good movie. That's my quick shout out. If you haven't seen Magic Mike XXL, go watch that. It's a fun time. So yeah, Neighbors 2, it's as far as raunchy comedies go, it's not that raunchy. It's just kind of, and it's not too dumb or gross.
The progression of the baby playing with a dildo was pretty funny. Yeah, they kept dressing it up because that was the only toy the baby wanted to play with.
Yeah, I think it's a solid one of those raunchy humor movies, and it kind of works a little bit more because it kind of has a message.
The first Neighbors was such a dude bro kind of movie, and I feel like this was
a direct huh?
Yeah,
it kind of was, huh?
Yeah,
I guess we shouldn't do that. That's what it feels like.
And this one, kind of had a message, which was kind of weird when you think about it.
I mean, you can make a movie about I feel like you can't make a movie about you have this female cast who are whatever, and you talked about what the last movie was with these frat houses, and they're all dude bro-y, and when you look at that through the lens of well, what does it mean to be a woman at a college party like that? And it's well, you can't not mention how kind of fucked that shit is sometimes. So I feel if they just kind of ignored it, then people would have been well, this movie's kind of tone deaf. But they grabbed it and they handled it pretty well. I
like the moment where Zac Efron, they're just talking to Zac Efron. He's like, yeah, fritters are kind of sexist, aren't they? And he's like, no, they're not. And he just kind of pauses and is like, oh God, what
I'm
have I
so
done?
Sorry, we did that.
So, yeah.
I kind of realizes which of a prick he was.
Yeah, and the last thing I think I'll say on this, I saw some criticism with it, people saying it's a little blunt with its message, but I'm also well, if you're going to have this message, fuck it, be a little blunt, because I'm sure there's going to be some dude bro who walks in this movie and realizes that, no, this is the world now. It's not cool anymore to do this, so, yeah. Alright, moving on. High Rise. Real quick, Carrie, you saw this, I wanted to see it. So tell me about, how's Tom Hiddleston, does that, the visual stuff is what I was really excited for. Does that deliver on that, and the story throughout?
Okay, Tom Hiddleston is great. I really liked him in it, and I really liked the setup of this movie and the story, but because it kind of loses focus near the end. But the story basically, if anyone doesn't know, is that I think it takes place in the 70s, so when this book came out, it was like a retro futurist kind of feel to it, because
gotcha. So it looks like the future of what the 70s was.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's centered around this completely self-sustaining high-rise apartment, and once people move in, it has all the stores they need, it has everything, and then as they stay longer, they start to not want to leave, and so they start to just stay in the place more, and then it starts experiencing problems, power outages, no water, but everyone is... I read the book after I saw the movie, and it kind of gives a little more clarity to their motivations and how they are somehow don't want to admit failure by leaving the high-rise, but visually it's really, really good. It's not a lot of like bright colors and Shazam or anything, but a lot of one of my favorite shots of the movie was because Jeremy Irons plays the architect who's kind of in charge of everything, and he invites Tom Hiddleston's character up onto his rooftop garden area, and there's this shot panning down, and it's got the angle of the building in the center of the shot, so you see this lush garden area of opulence and like overindulgence, and then you see like the ruin of the city over here that they're not a part, that they're just 40 floors above, and so it really has a lot of dynamic shots like that, but it's got a lot of stories going inside of it, like with all the different characters from the lower class characters, and then Tom Hiddleston's motivations, and then the motivations of the architect and his people trying to oppress the people down below, and the people down below trying to rise above and try and maintain their power. And Luke Evans' character, who is this meathead who's trying to make this documentary about all the evils of the high-rise and how everyone's just apathetic about everything, but it does get confusing. Like, there's this part where all of this weird imagery is just happening, and there's no through line of dialogue or plot or anything. It's just like shock, shock, terror, terror, and it's
but
like,
it doesn't work?
But it's good. It's good.
Okay.
But
in the grand
I was confused by the end of it.
Okay.
And it can have that effect where you're like, it's confusing, so I think it might be smarter than me, but if you want to look at it more, it might not be. They might just have been...
Right. Even from the trailer, it looked like it might be overindulgent with its style.
A few times it is, but I love that kind of movie, so I was enjoying it.
It looks like a good thing to watch.
But I just like the blunt tone of it, because when I read the book, like, there's a lot of violence that you aren't expecting, and there's some gore that you aren't expecting, and it just happens because they want to portray how matter-of-factly all these people are dealing with all these horrors just because they want to stay in the high-rise. But I don't know. I would recommend it. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I still kind of want to watch it because of that visual stuff that looked so impressive. It kind of felt like this story might get a little lost in itself, and maybe, like you said, it has such grandiose plans that it kind of delivers on them, and you're like, I think this movie did it right. I'm not sure. I have to really break it down, and I was like, yeah, sure, you did it. It's good. It's fine. High Rise. I still want to catch that. So moving on. Apocalypse. It's over. It's done. We don't have to do this podcast anymore.
Thank God.
X-Men Apocalypse came out in May. This is the third film in the, I don't even know what you call this trilogy. This what was once the Matthew Vaughn trilogy, but then became Bryan Singer Part 2 trilogy. The sequel to Days of Futures Past. So yes, this is the Apocalypse is finally in this X-Men story. He comes out and he says that he's going to take over these humans and everything else. Of course, we are back in the 80s because we left off in the 70s in the last film. After the whole timeline stuff with the first trilogy has been fixed. And Jennifer Lawrence's, what's her character's name? I forget. Mystique's character. Yeah, Raven. Mystique is seen like a sort of hero to all mutants as she opened the door in the last film for humans and like mutants to live kind of in peace. But in this sort of peace you see with like race relations where like that piece is very thin, and there are still people who do not accept this other group of people. And that's still a thing going on here, but for the most part, people know mutants exist, and they're mostly cool with them. And we have like some mutants go into hiding. People like Magneto and
After he killed all those people.
After he killed
After he killed the president.
After he killed the president, right? I feel like you have a problem with him making him sympathetic, Ryan. That you want to
Maybe. Wow, that's weird, you know?
Okay, so yeah, that's a big thing. Magneto, they try to humanize him more and make him seem like less a villain. And we have, you would think that the young cast would shine a little bit. I guess they do. They're mostly the movie. I guess that's the only cast. There's no like Wolverine's in it for like a few minutes. And Jennifer Lawrence is kind of there, but she's more of like, I'm here to give you a speech and be inspiring.
Forget everything you know.
That's
like,
so bad.
God.
It's so trailery. Oh my god. This is the fucking end, man. This is the big leagues. So yeah, I'm getting lost. But yeah, so we follow the young cast, which is Jean Grey, a Cyclops, a Nightcrawler.
Not Jubilee.
Not... Okay, so Jubilee was teased throughout all the marketing and stuff, and we saw
she's not teased. She's in all the marketing.
She's in all the marketing.
She's in all the press interviews,
and they have long shots with her in it.
She's not in the movie.
Her footage got cut, and it's a shame because she looks the spitting image of what you want Jubilee to look like.
The scene they talked about was like the four of them just like in an 80s mall,
right?
Which I would see like an hour of.
Yeah, and they cut it to like
a
1 minute.
Bunch of idiots in a mall.
Right. So
man.
Right. There's a lot more Quicksilver in this movie, which people definitely wanted from going on from the Days of Future Past, and his big scene is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Holy crap, is it good? Kind of made the whole thing seem great.
Yeah.
But
they said it took him like a month to film that. Just
really?
that scene.
It does seem like a pain in the ass.
So he was on set more than anyone else.
But really getting into it, I did say that one Quicksilver scene makes the whole thing kind of work, but to be honest, the whole movie's just kind of okay. So yeah, let's talk about that. So Apocalypse comes in, he's like, I'm gonna take over the world, and it was like, oh shit.
I'm gonna get the 4 strongest mutants I know.
Right.
Those 4 will work.
Right. Psylocke and Magneto, which Magneto, yeah, sure.
Storm and Angel.
And Angel, so.
I mean, Angel is like the like horseman in the comics, but you know, it doesn't make sense.
He doesn't
really.
look. Yeah, he doesn't look that threatening.
He looks really like 80s metal trash. I don't know how I feel about that.
He looks like a weenie. So yeah, we have Apocalypse, and he's like, I'm gonna take over everything. And he makes this huge plan to take over the world. It's just fucking explosions, and it's like really dramatic, and stuff sucking in, like meeting at like.
You know what was really cool about the one? I hate the X-Men movies, basically. But what I do like about them is that they're not all about destruction.
Right, and
they're more about like the ethics of it. And this one is just like, I'm going to destroy everything.
Fuck it, this is the end. We're just going to fucking blow the budget out,
We're
guys.
going to destroy Auschwitz.
It's going to destroy Auschwitz.
Right. They destroy Auschwitz in this movie because it's supposed to be symbolic, because I guess Magneto was a kid in a camp. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in a Holocaust camp.
I didn't know that.
They only took him out because they knew he could like mess with metal, and they're like, "Oh, we can fucking mess with this kid."
Oh, gotcha. Again.
But yeah, he destroyed a camp, the Holocaust.
But yeah, but nevertheless,
he's a sympathetic character.
Apocalypse is not that great of a villain. He's really just here to make some really cool ass CGI, and the battle against him isn't that interesting either. It all ends in this really trippy, weird dream sequence inside of Apocalypse's head between Jean Grey and Professor Xavier. It's all really flashy and really weird. I kind of wish it got a little bit more weirder.
When they were just walking towards each other, it looked like they were about to have a rap battle or something.
Yeah. So, not really a lot of characters
I feel
shine.
Like Apocalypse was a lot better in this movie than in the comics, because in the comics he's just like, in the comics he's described as the first villain, and he also happens to have all the powers. But in the movie they kind of explain why he has all these stupid powers that make no sense, because he like absorbs powers from other mutants.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That's cool.
He's just not menacing is the thing.
No, he just
like has this weird voice and a Power Rangers villain-esque outfit.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's the delivery. I don't know if it's the outfit, but just something about him.
It's not Oscar Isaac, because he's a treasure.
Yeah, but I don't think he's like great in this.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac's fantastic.
I love Oscar Isaac, but I mean,
he's just not threatening or like You don't feel this overwhelming power when he speaks.
You feel like you should, because he can just like fucking like cut people's throats without like even trying with like sand.
I haven't
dirt.
seen a ton of Oscar Isaac performances. I've just seen the ones that have been getting a lot of attention recently. But from what the performances that I love from him are like the more subtle, like innately menacing kind of characters, like in Ex Machina, and then this is like big blowout, holy shit,
I'll kill everyone,
be all end all villain, and it's like,
yeah, he doesn't work. I'd say someone more like an Idris Elba works for that, because his voice is like deep and powerful, or like a Benji.
But he's doing Star Trek, so he had no time for this.
Sure. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, like what else is there to talk about? I mean, the movie looks fine. It looks like an X-Men movie. The outfits when they're in the 80s look fantastic. Holy shit.
The ending like outfits were also really cool too.
Yeah, Wolverine's in it for a few minutes. You could tell that he was only in it for a few minutes because he was not as bulky as he normally is for an X-Men movie.
George, let's talk about Magneto real quick.
Sure, because Magneto's probably
he's
most
pretty much
important
the main
thing of the movie, right?
Yeah,
he's the main
there's
character.
tons of Magnetos.
Right. So like,
I'm fucking fine with him trying to like run away and trying to like
raise a family
and be good,
become Heinrich,
become the guy, but. They find out he's a mutant again, and then they're all like, "Oh, we can't have you because you're a mutant. You also killed the fucking president." He's like, I'll kill all of you. I'll fucking kill all of you.
After they killed his family, to be fair,
but like,
he was gonna sacrifice himself.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Was he though?
I think so.
He's still evil. He's always been evil.
Sure, yeah, but I don't know. He had a kid.
Like, what happened at the end of Days of Future Past that made him like? Think I'm gonna be good.
Sure,
now.
I guess they did. They didn't
He
sell
tried,
you. They
he
didn't
tried
sell you
to kill Mystique, who was like his like love interest kind of girl, in those other two movies, kind of.
So I feel like the problem there lies in he turns into a good guy at the end of it so quickly, and there's nothing really there that earns it. I felt the transition to Magneto's not an asshole. It was earned. They're like, he's got a family. He's kind of nice, whatever.
But that works because there's like that 10-year gap where you don't really know what happened.
And this is like a day or two. Like a day. And he's all like, you're all right. Family and stuff, that's cool.
But then again, my main issue is at the end again. At the end of the 80s, he decides to be good again.
Right.
He saves the day after he flattens like 40 of like the biggest cities in the world, killing millions of people.
Yeah.
Families are gone, and he's just like, "All right, Xavier, I'm just gonna like check out of here. I'll see you later. I'm gonna do my thing." He killed so many people.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't think he would deserve redemption at the end of that movie.
And then it is also,
I don't even think he would deserve redemption at the end of Days of Future Past, but he got it, and he kind of made good with it.
it's just he's like the X-Men villain too.
Right.
So they can't keep making him the hero and then the villain again later.
I guess so, yeah.
Because if the timelines cross again, by the time the 2000s hit, he's going to be the villain again. But I mean,
right? Yeah,
I don't understand.
Are you saying like it's kind of lazy and kind of cheap?
It's really lazy because they're trying to make him seem cool because it's Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
And they want people to like him, but he's not a good guy. He's a terrible guy. He loves killing people.
I guess so, yeah.
It's his favorite thing in the world to do. Throwing quarters through guys' skulls. That's what he's all about.
Yeah. And that seems like the main thing because the Oscar Isaac stuff isn't very interesting. So, Carrie, you got any final things to say about this?
I thought it was just gonna be bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But
those Michael Fassbender moments do go a long way. I gotta say, it's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
There's some parts where it's okay. I liked it, but I didn't really like it. I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed it more than anyone else. I feel like this three movies, they're solid trilogy. It's a solid trilogy. I guess, I don't know, they keep it open, like, oh no, more stuff's coming. And I was like, okay, I guess. I don't fucking know where you guys gonna go from here.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They're probably gonna do like another decade push into the 90s, which is like they didn't do anything with the 80s here too, so it's like they kind of are spoiling themselves with that. But I don't know, there's a lot going on in this movie. There's way too much going on. They have like this cast of new people who they're trying to focus on, but they're trying to like keep Jennifer Lawrence at the very
Yeah,
front
keep
of
the
it.
heavy hitters.
Keep the heavy hitters quote on front too.
And they're not doing anything interesting with her. They're just like, you're good at inspirational speaches.
And
Say
she's
that.
like,
Say cool things. Just
take that cut dialogue from the Hunger Games and just like put it in the movie.
But then again, I don't think Days of Future Past did. I think First Class was probably the best one that they did with her.
Probably.
But that was a bit, yeah.
I don't know. Quicksilver's cool. I'd
Quicksilver's
watch
pretty
the
cool.
Quicksilver scenes, and then I'd watch like a supercut of the Quicksilver scenes again, and then I'd not watch the rest of it.
Okay.
There we
I
go.
don't know.
So yeah, that's X-Men Apocalypse. Moving on to Alice Through the Looking Glass. Why does this movie exist? I don't fucking know. Oh, because it made $1 billion last time. So
I
Carrie,
don't think this one
Will
made
it
$1
make
billion.
$1 billion
I
this
don't
time?
think so.
So Carrie, very quickly, tell me about what is going on following the events of the first movie,
Because you're the only one who wanted to see this movie.
and
Yep,
tell me
I saw it.
how does that cast work out and
Does
visually?
the
does it look
CGI
different?
still look terrifying?
Well, it starts off with Alice as a pirate.
Okay.
Because at the end of the last one, she like takes up her father's shipping company, and then the mom's gonna sell the shipping company, and then Alice goes through the mirror, and then in sequels when you're like, oh, I wonder how they're gonna bring in all the iconic characters from the last one. She falls through the looking glass and lands in a circular table in the middle of all of the notable characters from the last movie, like White Queen. The dog that was serving on the royal guard for his hounds and pups, the dormouse, the two rabbits, and it's like, oh, and Hatter is sick because he was suddenly like, wait a minute, I have a family. I think they might be alive, and so I wanted to like it real bad because I liked the first one and everyone hated it, and I was like, it's not that bad, but this one was just. It was a reach that didn't need to be made, and I feel like no one on the cast was doing their absolute best. It was all it just all felt really forced, and Sacha Baron Cohen was kind of fun. He had some good parts, but because he was the personification of time.
Right.
But this movie turned out to be a lot of origin story for the Red Queen, because Alice was. The White Queen tells Alice, you have to go back in time. And she's like, well, if I go back in time to stop the Fraptious Day, where Hatter's family disappeared / died, then I'll do that. And then she goes there, and it's like, oh, well, that doesn't work. And so she's like, wait, if I go back to when the Queen turned evil, then she won't ever have the Jabberwocky. And so the reason the Queen is evil is because the White Queen ate a tart and then lied about it, and then the Red Queen ran out of the house and tripped and hit her head on a fountain.
This sounds like the Snow White and the Huntsman Winter's War sequel to
Really?
Alice. It seems like you're explaining backstory to some villains, and I don't really care.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need to know why the Red Queen's evil.
Yes,
I
exactly.
know that she's evil and she wants to behead people.
Yeah, that's what this sounds like to me.
But
Does it look better, different than the first? Is it brighter? Is it like
Less terrifying?
it's pretty terrifying.
this one not directed by Tim Burton? as the
No.
original.
Just produced.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, because I was excited about Johnny Depp, and he's sick and dying most of the movie because he's losing his muchness because he's sad about his family, and then Alice doesn't believe him, and he's like, you're not my Alice would believe me, and it's like, But they make a lot of time puns to Sacha Baron Cohen.
Okay.
That's good if you're into that. And then he's at the tea party, and then he puts a curse on the tea party that it'll always be a minute to tea time, and that's why they're crazy. And it's like, but yeah, not.
I should not watch this movie?
No, you do you, man.
Okay.
I'm not going to stop you, but...
But don't do it.
Okay, well, I'm satiated in knowing that this movie is nothing. So,
Yeah.
Moving on to June. There was a new Ninja Turtles movie in June. Out of the Shadows. I saw it because I'm the only one who gives a fuck about Ninja Turtles. And I can tell you that it is the most Ninja Turtles movie ever made, but it is also incredibly uninteresting. And I see a lot of people out there on the internets letting nostalgia and it being so Ninja Turtles winning them over. Because in case like, yo, it has Bebop and Rocksteady. Yo, it's got Krang. Yo, it's got the fucking Dimension X. Yo, it's got the fucking, oh my god.
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones. It has
Yeah.
Casey Jones. It has the, holy shit, what's its fucking name? The giant robot thing with an eyeball. And now everyone's gonna say, I'm not a real Ninja Turtles fan. Whatever. It'll come to me eventually, but it has it. It has all this Ninja Turtle stuff. It has the ooze stuff. It has some nice nods to the original series, but it's just so fucking dull and uninteresting. And the Ninja Turtles, they have moments like you're supposed to feel bad for them because there's this whole thing like, oh, we want to be human and stop being turtles because no one likes us and people they think we're ugly and gross and we can't get out of here. And they have moments that are like, oh, fuck. If you were the Ninja Turtles that I knew and you looked like them, I would feel horrible for you and this would be cool and awesome. But you don't look like the Ninja Turtles. You feel kind of like, yeah, you're like, I'm sorry, Michelangelo, I guess. I think you're Michelangelo. I don't know. It's hard to really make that empathetic connection when it's not the thing you grew up with or the thing you know. But, I don't know. It doesn't take itself seriously, so that's neat. It's just not interesting. So I guess if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, watch it. Maybe you'll like it. I don't know. I really think it's just kind of cheap. They're trying, but it's just not very interesting.
With the first new Ninja Turtles movie, it felt like they were not trying. It felt like they were just
definitely.
like...
This one. Also, there's a part where Michelangelo comes out of the sewer and they're having a Day of the Dead festival, and there's someone in a Bumblebee costume, and they have a conversation and an exchange. So there's probably there is a Transformers Ninja Turtles crossover coming eventually, but I just didn't want that in my Ninja Turtles movie.
What are you talking about? Now I have to see this movie.
So that's a thing.
When two of my favorite things collide.
Yeah, totally. In the first movie, it felt like they're like, hey, this is the Ninja Turtles property, we gotta modernize it. And like, oh, that did well. Okay, so now that we know this is successful, let's give them a little something. And they do, and it's just dull, man. I don't know. It's just boring. I kind of like the first one a little better. I don't know why. Maybe because it was the first thing. It's an origin story. I don't know. Fucking whatever. Moving on. I don't care. Ninja Turtles, it's fine. I don't care. Whatever. Actually, I'll rank them first. Ninja Turtles 2. Ninja Turtles 1, Ninja Turtles 2. The animated movie. The reboot. This one. And Ninja Turtles 3. Because Ninja Turtles 3 is absolute garbage. Moving on. Popstar.
Oh, yeah.
Lonely Island. They made a movie.
Again.
And you guys, you see these trailers about this movie. It's like almost like a fake documentary thing about this.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely like a satire on the Justin Bieber one.
Absolutely.
It's called Never Stop, Never Stoppin'.
Yeah.
Never stop, never
as
stopping.
opposed to Never Say Never.
Right.
Justin
So
Bieber.
I'm looking at these trailers and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It looks cool. It looks kind of stupid. And I had no hope for it. And then reviews come out. I was like, this is fucking fantastic. So, can you tell me what works? I don't even know how much you like it.
So the movie is just about this this pop star, Connor For Real.
Played by Andy Samberg.
Played by Andy Samberg, who's launching... He's basically having this documentary made about him and the launch of his second album, because his first one was a huge success, and he's way too cocky and all about himself. And it just does terrible. The album just does terrible, and that's like a huge joke. They gave me the shit emoji as a review.
Out of the 4 possible stars, they gave me the shit emoji. That's
so
just a typo.
So mixed. We'll call it mixed. And then it's all about like his journey, and eventually he learns to be less of an asshole. That's basically the whole plot of the movie, which is kind of obvious that would be the whole idea.
Yeah.
And it works. It really does work. There's a lot of like funny pop culture stuff.
A lot of the humor comes from different celebrity interviews popping up and them talking about Connor For Real.
Sarah Silverman's in this,
Ringo Starr is like, Connor For Real is the most universally loved artist of all time. And it's like, what are you doing, Ringo Starr? And there's some Justin Timberlake in there. There's some... I can't even name all the celebrity cameos. There's a lot.
Yeah.
My one issue with this movie, because it's so about modern pop culture, in 10 years, this will not be a
That's
good
what
movie.
I was thinking.
This is gonna... No one will understand any of the jokes in this movie in 10 years. Maybe a little bit, but it'll be like, who
Remember
the hell,
that thing?
Who the hell is Seal? The hell is...
I would say Seal.
Who the hell is Questlove?
Even now, Seal's a little dated. Not everyone's gonna get a Seal reference.
Yeah, true. But it was funny. The Lonely Island have their own kind of unique comedy.
Yeah.
And that all works very well.
Okay.
My favorite joke in the movie was, I'm not going to spoil it, but basically, like, Connor is having, like, this meltdown because his album's doing terrible, and he's having a conversation with his producer, who's played by Tim Meadows, who needs to do more work because Tim Meadows is hilarious.
It's funny.
And he's, like, having a meltdown. He's like, guys, turn off the cameras. And they keep the audio going, and, like, it's, like, the craziest thing in the world happens. I can't explain it, but I lost my mind.
Yeah,
and at the
I've
end of,
never heard Ryan laugh that hard.
And at the end of it, they're like, "Oh my god, please tell me you guys got that on camera." And they're like,
told us to stop recording.
It's the funniest thing ever.
Okay.
Other than that, there's a whole lot of good bits about Connor just being an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, he names his album Conquest, and it's like has a bunch of like Nazi Germany,
Hitler iconography on
yeah.
it. But I don't know. It felt like it dragged at some parts for me, just because I know that it's not like he's not actually a douchebag because it's satire, but it's like I don't want to watch a fucking documentary about this douchebag being a douchebag. But I liked it overall.
And then it had some like good heart moments.
Yeah.
You know, when he reunited with his friends.
Because
the parts
he
with
was
his pet turtle too.
Yeah, he was in a boy band and then he went
Right.
solo, so it was that kind of music arc career thing.
And you know, there are a lot of parallels between his character and a lot of like other celebrities.
Sure, yeah.
Who are all like, I don't want to fucking talk about my old band. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude, just shut up.
Okay, cool.
I'd recommend it for like another kind of dude bro-y funny movie. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a dude bro movie.
Yeah.
It's like all wieners. But yeah, in 10 years this will not be as good of a movie as it is now, which is a shame. But you know, what
So
are you
get
gonna
on
do?
it while it's hot.
Sure,
Get on the Popstar while it's hot.
Yeah, okay. Alright, cool. So moving on, movie I fucking really, really liked. The Conjuring 2, sequel to The Conjuring, which appeared in 2014, I think, as well. Right? That sounds right.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
14 or 13.
Yeah. James Wan, director of Insidious, the Insidious 1 and 2. And the first Conjuring comes with this sequel. We see the two, I guess you call them exorcists? Ghostbusters?
Paranormal
the
investigators.
Paranormal investigators. played
original
by-
Ed and
Ghostbusters.
Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, the Warrens, played by the wonderful Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. They got a new fucking case. And we see this one going... This film is a lot more heartfelt and a lot more about the relationship. And I think that's what sticks it out a lot in these horror movies. Like, this one has a lot of heart and, like, a lot more dynamics between the relationships. So, sure, they got this... The case isn't that spectacular. It's just a girl who is possessed by this demon. And there's this whole thing that Vera Farmiga's character thinks that if they keep doing this exorcism thing, that Patrick Wilson's character is going to die. It's going to lead to his death somehow. But they decide to go take on this one job, mostly to investigate, but they eventually get wrapped up too much in it. And to be fair... there's a lot of moments like that where like, hey, we're just gonna go talk to them, whatever the fuck. You need to promise me that you are not gonna. We won't go far. We'll only go here because I can't lose you. And you expect that those promises are gonna get broken, and it's not just gonna be a checkup. But the way they do it, they go to like, okay, we're actually in this now, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna break this promise to you, but you know, whatever. Those moments where like. It feels natural. Mm-hmm. There is no moment where, like, I don't know, it's all like, oh, I guess we do have to get back into this one more time. And, come on, you know from the beginning I was going to break this promise. Like, when they finally do get really deep into this shit, and, like, she does make him promise, hey, we can't let this go too far. And finally where it's, like, at the end of the movie where it's like, yo, this, you might die. They do have a moment where it's like, hey, I'm truly sorry, but I can't live with myself, whatever it is. It's a good moment. So, that stuff with the characters works really great. Like I said, I think, like, the actual spooky story here isn't that exciting or different. Mm-hmm. I think they do cool stuff with the effects and the monster itself, and the people involved in the exorcism, the little girl and the family are really cool. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, but getting more focused. This film starts off like everything I was so worried about, like this is gonna be cash in, it's gonna be fucking dumb. But as it goes on, it gets more James Wan-y, fucking weird and scary, and you get invested in it. And it just all comes together to this fucking great payoff, and it just makes you feel fan-fucking-tastic by the end of it. So yeah, before I really like fucking splurge more on this movie, what do you guys want to say about this thing?
I was super pessimistic about this movie when the trailers first started coming out, because I was like, shit, because I loved The Conjuring, and then I was like, oh boy, here we go.
We got those crosses turned upside down. Yeah. Look at that, oh boy.
And it's like, that looks bad. But I'm really happy that I was wrong about it, because I really enjoyed this movie, because you could tell that I don't know how to put it, but it's like when a horror movie is set up correctly with the right amount of passion and tension and eye for like mood and suspense rather than just bleh.
Yeah, and also knowing what the audience is expecting out of it. I think I'll talk about it later, but yeah. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I really, really liked it, and I liked a lot of the stuff that they did with the actual haunt sequences with the crooked man specifically.
It looks so goddamn cool. It's like stop
motion. He was my
motion
favorite
shit.
part. Yeah,
it's like fantastic.
It breaks out into this Nightmare Before Christmas-esque creature, and it's just like I was so happy.
Oh, it's so good.
That was the best.
You can see it clearly, and the way it moves, it's fan-fucking-tastic. Ryan, what do you guys say?
Well, I really did not like the first Conjuring.
Really?
Everyone was all like, oh, it's
the best horror movie in like forever.
Best horror movie. And I watched it and I was like, this is really kind of just like generic. Like, it's good, but like it didn't do anything.
That's exactly what I thought.
It didn't do anything like new, but it did everything like good.
I thought within this formula of making movies, I thought it was a damn good one of those.
But I've seen like 1,000 before, so it didn't interest me.
Right.
And I really kind of felt the same about this.
Really?
Like, it wasn't bad. It's just like I felt like I've seen all this before, and like what it didn't bring a lot new to the table in terms of horror. Like the stop motion stuff, like you said, was cool, and it actually like built the characters up. And part of that's because it is a sequel, and it was a sequel in like the good aspects of like it built on the characters. It wasn't just like, let's go for one more ride. It was like, hey, like you're gonna die if we do this. Like, we need to stop. He's like, I don't know about that. Ghost hunting is my passion, much like my art.
Patrick Wilson picks up painting.
My favorite part of the movie, though, is like when he's like, I just had like a dream last night, so I drew this painting. And it's the most terrifying fucking painting of all. And he's like, I'm gonna hang it up on the wall for everyone to see.
Yeah, the later she goes in the office and he had hung it up. It's like, why'd he hang that up? Jesus.
That's the most terrifying painting ever.
That'll look good, right? Here.
Right there. That'll be a good scary bit later. But yeah, this was an okay movie. I thought.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I fucking loved it so much because I feel like when we watch these fucking horror movies, especially the stuff where you're not expecting it to be great, like you go to watch something like a Southbound or something like a VHS movie, and you're like, oh, this is gonna do something cool and exciting, and I'm excited, cool. And maybe you watch like I know when I first watched The Conjuring, like, oh, this is gonna be this movie. Okay, the viewer almost signs like a contract. We're like, okay, I'm gonna let myself go and maybe let you have fun. Like, I know what the jump scares are going to be. Like, jump scares suck because, not because they're ineffective, but because we see them coming because we are so used to them, and we kind of let ourselves, like, okay, I'm going to humor you. I'm going to, like, that was spooky, whatever the hell. And I think this movie, there's a scene where this painting that Ryan mentioned, where that painting finally comes in for that spooky goof, right? And the way they do it, it's like, fuck, it understands how that whole jump scare works. Like, you need to have this object that's scary that the audience knows it's gonna fucking come at them at one point. And so they're staring at it intently. And they go through the whole thing, stare at it intently, like, oh, is it gonna do it? And it doesn't do it. And so then you're like, okay, now I'm waiting for the scare. Where's the scare? And then the scare happens, but it's another noise. And you're like, okay, that was weird. What the fuck was that? And then you see that something else is moving over here. Like, okay, but wait a minute. I need to go look at the thing that I know is going to fucking scare me. And now the audience can't because they're looking over here like, fuck, what is it? And so now you're fucking engaged. You're fucking active. And you know you're no longer safe. And I fucking love that scene because of it. It knows what, like, okay, we're going to fuck with the convention a little bit. Enough to make it exciting and cool. Because it's still kind of in that formula. Like, this is a Hollywood horror movie. It still kind of is, but it does enough different stuff and enough that, like, I know what I'm doing here, that it makes it unique. Because I really feel like the first Conjuring wasn't that great. I just think it did that stuff that is in the textbook. Like, hey, make a horror movie better than most. And I think that what makes that even better is, like, that heart. That relationship with, I forget their names again.
Ed and Lorraine?
Ed and Lorraine, yeah. That relationship, I think, does work for the most part. I really thought there's something there. Like Ryan we mentioned the part where, like, to promise me it won't go that far. And we all agree, we all know that, like, it's gonna go that far. Of course it will. But this movie did it good enough that they interact with these kids and this mother, and you're like, fuck, okay, we know how this is gonna go, and even they know. I'm sure, like, it made me believe that when that character said it, she meant it as, like, a person. Like, I'm hoping nothing goes far, so please tell me that, just make me feel safe, that it's not gonna go far, and you're not gonna have to do this. But I know that if it does get to that, you're gonna do it. Mm-hmm. But just fucking reassure me that things are gonna go okay. And yeah, I fucking love it so much. Oh man, it's so good. I like it more than the first one personally, because I think it strays a little bit more from that fucking template. And when it is heartfelt, it works well. And when it's trying to be silly, it works well. Mostly because Patrick Wilson is fucking charming as fuck. I love Patrick Wilson so much.
Patrick Wilson's great.
Holy shit, he's so good. Yeah, totally. I see him in more horror movies. Not that he doesn't have enough, but he's so good and handsome and wonderful, and I love him.
What do you say here, George?
As you're saying, I love Patrick Wilson.
Okay.
And he gets a musical number.
He does, and it's fucking so good.
So
and
nice.
So nice and calm. Like, fuck, we're watching a horror movie, right? We're not watching, like, some, like, family that's down on their luck, and here comes this family who's gonna take care of them. Like, oh no, there's a ghost here. Oh, it's so good. Like, that stuff that breaks it out, like, oh, fuck, that was, like, nice and warm and human and felt genuine. Mm-hmm. That was nice. But, hey, we got ghosts. No time for that shit. Yeah. I really like this movie. I really liked it. I don't know if there's much else to say about it. It surprised me. I did not expect it to be good.
I'm really happy that it was good.
Yeah. Good. Insidious 2, though, not that great of a movie. Insidious 1 is just weird because he has no expectations. He's just like, I'm gonna make this fucking weird fucking thing.
I love Insidious. I really like that movie.
Bananas and dumb.
I love that movie
the first
so
half
much.
is good. Once it gets into the further, it's like, okay.
So
the first half is favorite part.
Yeah, the first half is controlled, and then it's like, okay, now we're gonna go fucking off the rails. We're just gonna go fucking wild.
I love that movie.
I like Insidious for its being stupid and crazy.
No.
I like all the rocking horses that just kind of...
The rocking horses that show up, and then when the trailers for the second one came out, there was like a row of rocking horses. It's like, oh shit!
So yeah, I really want. I know James Wan's supposed to do an Aquaman movie, and I really want him to take some time off and really fucking, because he's obviously inspired by stuff in horror and in movies, because he's making cool shit. He's not making just whatever the fuck. I really want him to, like, take a break, take a vacation, really look at the stuff that inspires you, because he's on to something fucking really good. Because, man, that movie, like, was on, like, Exorcist levels almost, of, like, just close to, like, Exorcist levels of good. I really fucking loved it.
I don't know, I feel like maybe after Aquaman, like, because he did the latest Fast and Furious, right?
I keep confusing Justin Lin and Justin Wan. And
he did do a Fast and Furious.
He did 7, right?
He did 7, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And that's why they were like, oh, let's get this
and
guy
Justin Lin
on
went to go do
Aquaman.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
And James Wan's going to go do Aquaman.
Yeah,
okay, right.
I feel like after Aquaman, then that might give him, like, a good break, and then, like, come back and, like, reassess, like, what was good and what didn't work in his horror movies.
And I don't know where you go from it, because you can't. I don't know, like, it would feel shitty. It would feel cheap and shitty to finally actually, like, break this, like, couple apart now. I feel like it'd be cheap and dumb. Like, okay, don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're based off real people. And,
yeah, sure, right.
And I think they stayed together.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, if they break up, like, yeah, but don't kill him off or whatever. That'd be shitty.
I'm pretty sure one of them is still alive, and I think the other one died of old age.
I believe that Lorraine is still alive because she was in a lot of they had some promo stuff with her. Like, they had a few interviews with her for The Conjuring.
Okay. So, let's move on. We had The Conjuring, which was great, but I think Warcraft, yeah, let's talk about Warcraft. And by let's, I mean you guys talk about Warcraft. So, Warcraft, Blizzard, video games, tactical RPG, strategy RPG. I don't fucking know. I don't play PC games. MMO. David Bowie's son making a movie.
Okay, you're just making this worse.
What is Warcraft? The beginning. If you're in Europe, in a Europe country, it is called Warcraft: The Beginning.
So this movie has been in development for 10 years, which is always a good sign.
Well, I mean, video game movies are.
Yes, they started this in 2007 and 2006.
To be fair, video game movies are totally like this. We're like, hey, this sounds like a cool idea.
No, but they had been like really trying to work at this for a while.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, I mean, you don't see something like World of Warcraft and like, we should do something with it.
We'll make it like an indie thing, you know. But man, this is not a good movie.
Aww.
I keep like running into like friends who are like video game fans who are like, no, it's a good movie. Fuck what the critics say. It's like, no, it's not. Don't put this on a pedestal just because it happens to be like based off something you like. It's not very good.
Is it like the Ninja Turtles argument where it has stuff from the thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And it does it well.
I read one.
I think Greg was with you guys?
Yeah.
Greg was with us.
Okay,
yeah.
was he like, oh, that was a thing?
Yeah, he liked it.
He said it was weird.
Okay.
Like, I read something like earlier that like compared like the Metacritic for like the critics and like the fans, and the fans have rated like an 8 out of 10, and the critics have rated like a 2 out of 10. It's like, fuck what the critics say. They're so like disconnected from what real people want. It's like, no, you guys are just
don't have taste.
Deleting.
I'm so sorry.
And you're messing with the system, so it appears that your thing is good, and then you're deceiving other people through that. The movie makes no sense starting up. You have you have this character who's an orc, and he's with his like wife orc, and they're all like, "We're having a baby,
orc.
We're having a baby orc." And then it cuts to, and then they're like having like some jokes and whatever, and then it cuts to like a whole fucking thing of orcs, and they're all like, "Oh, we're gonna fucking invade Earth. We're gonna kill all the people." So a fucking shaman orc is like, "I'm gonna open this giant Gul'dan."
That's the only character's name I'm gonna remember. That's it. You're welcome.
There's also Medieval.
Oh, Medieval!
He opens up a giant green portal. It's like, we're gonna go through this portal to another dimension to Earth, and we're gonna fucking enslave it, because that's what we orcs do. And then it cuts to the humans that are all like, we're having a fucking good time. We're humans. We're having a good time. Some of us have magic powers. We're not gonna explain that, at all.
Spell slinger.
Which is weird, because like only 2 people seem to have magic, but like it's not a big deal. And then it goes to like a fight between the orcs who are invading Earth, or like Earth, quotation marks, through a dimensional portal, and they're fighting, and apparently they've been fighting like forever, but like in the course of the movie it feels like a day. Because they're like, oh, the orcs are so tough, but because they're fucking massive, but we fucking humans are so tiny with our swords, and the orcs are just punching us and flooding us across the fucking thing, and it's like, oh my god, what's happening?
I believe it's called Azeroth, Ryan. That's where the
Who the hell cares?
You idiot!
I'm sorry.
You have no authority
brilliant.
to criticize this movie.
And
you just don't understand the lore and what they were going for, so you're hating on it for no reason.
No, like I understand like a bit of like Warcraft lore.
I don't.
I understand a bit of it. And then, so the humans are all. Their plan is like, okay, we can't beat these orcs because there's a fucking, 1,000 of them. They're like rats. They're everywhere. So they're all like, we need to get to the fucking super mage guy. He's going to stop the war from us. But the mage guy who's like the guardian, like the protector of Azeroth or whatever you call it. Azeroth. He's acting kind of strange. Medivh's acting a little weird.
Seems a little off today. I don't know.
He keeps shouting the word evil all the time. I wonder what's going on with Medivh. But everyone's like, oh, he's the guardian. He knows what he's doing.
Evil.
So this little schmuck mage who's like the only other guy in the movie who has magic powers.
Looks like he's wearing a fucking robe the entire time.
Yeah.
Like a literal bathrobe.
He's all like, guys, I think Medivh's evil. And I was like, fuck you don't know Medivh. He's not evil. And then, what a fucking surprise. Medivh's evil, and he's working with the orc mage, who and he's helping him open the portal so the orcs can destroy Earth, because he has some infection that makes him evil.
The fell, the green stuff.
The movie like establishes in like part of the beginning they're examining this corpse that's like infested with like this green magic called the fell, which is like, what is that? Is that a disease? Can I catch that? Is that like fucking herpes? Is that like what?
Yes.
And then the fucking the Guardian guy has it, and he's like all cursed, and he's turning into like an evil guy.
He looked like, this is gonna be a bit of an out there reference, but when I saw it, he looked like the if you've seen the Ridley Scott movie Legend with Tim Curry as the demon guy.
Oh,
he looked like when Tom Cruise is going across the lake and that one lady is like, "You find me beautiful, Jack."
Okay,
he looked like that lady.
I thought he was gonna look like the Tim Curry guy. I was like, oh wow.
No. That would have been amazing. Well, the demon he turns into kind of has the same sort of horn thing going on. Not as cool, obviously, but he looked like the Lady of the Lake in Legend by Ridley Scott. You're welcome.
So
movies are real.
So let's cut to the real gusto of the movie, the real meat of it.
The half orc, half human romance.
Right.
Yeah, there's a
lot of like, we're not so different after all. We can come together and live harmoniously.
Not really.
No. Okay.
No. I mean, the humans seem to think that, but the orcs are like, fuck you guys.
Isn't there one orc?
There's like one like good orc who like works with the humans.
Her name was like Corona or something.
Corona, yeah, after the beer.
Corona. Yeah, I think it started with a G, but she was the most humanoid orc.
I think she's like a half-breed because she was
Probably.
a slave, but they never, even though they made a deal out of it, they never really explained it.
No. She was, because her name meant cursed in orc or something.
Yeah, and they like killed her.
Corona.
Corona, okay. So the humans have her, and they're like fighting the orcs, and then there's a huge battle, and then the main like the king dies, and there's fucking the ending scene is like the main warrior guy, the guy who's in charge of the army, the main white protagonist is fighting. Lothar is fighting one of the like villainous orcs, not like the like mage super evil guy who's
the one who had dragon spines on him.
Yeah, just like
he had dragon skulls as shoulder pads,
just
and
like,
then the spines went down.
Just
his
like
back.
this other orc who's like become cursed and evil. There's this weird scene of he's like, I don't know, Gul'dan, maybe you're not in charge. Maybe you shouldn't be in charge of all the orcs. And he's like, you will be evil because I said so. And he's like, oh god. And so he becomes fucking evil. And then like all the orcs get around like this sumo like ring thing, and then like the main human protagonist fights this super evil orc, and they have like this duel.
And he chops his dick off.
He chops his dick off. Like that's what happens. He chops his dick off.
They run at each other, and he does a knee slide between the orc's legs with his sword above his head, and it's like, oh, that's not cool.
So he kills like this like one of like the main orcs, and all the orcs are like, well, he won the fight.
He can leave.
He can leave, and Gul'dan's like, he can't leave. I need to kill him. He's a human. I need to kill the human. And they're like, you need to respect our rules if you want to be an orc like us. It's like, but I am an orc and I'm evil. And then and while that's happening, Medieval is like they kill him by just fucking crushing a rock over him or something.
It was a golem?
It was a golem. I'm so fucking sorry. They crushed a golem made of clay on him.
Well, because he's making this giant clay golem at the beginning, and he's like, usually these take a lot of magic, but up here it works a little better. And it's like, that's gonna come into play later.
There is so much going on in this fucking movie, and you have to like be like your eyes on it like the entire time if you want to even like catch a glimpse, get like an idea of what the hell is going on.
Well, I mean, I feel like they didn't explain most of it, but to be fair, I feel like not a ton of people are gonna be like, you know what, I want to start getting into Warcraft. Let's start with the movie. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, they're gonna dig up the 1990s video game?
I don't know, but
there's so much going on, and it's not friendly for your everyday consumer. They're gonna walk in and they're gonna be like, what did I even watch? That looked like some shitty Lord of the Rings ass piece of shit. And then they're not gonna care when a sequel comes out, because this movie is it frames itself as like the first part.
It's called The Beginning.
It's called The Beginning, like overseas.
Yeah.
And it frames itself as like part of this bigger story, even though what it is not good enough to warrant all this.
I can tell you right now that Warcraft 2 is gonna happen.
Oh God!
I know it made
I saw it coming because people like China loves Warcraft.
Yeah, it did. I think it bombed here in the U.S., but
Totally.
but in China it like
People
exploded.
love
It like
Warcraft.
made more money
Oh,
than the new
boy.
Star Wars, if I'm correct.
I'm pretty sure.
Cause,
Yeah.
because China didn't take Star Wars super well, which was a little surprising. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know the world.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know the world. I'm not gonna.
But yeah,
China has a fake.
China was the reason the latest Transformers movie did so well.
Also, Ninja Turtles has like a Chinese publishing arm, like putting their
Damn.
money towards it.
But man, this Warcraft movie is not good, and I cannot recommend it to anyone.
China has a fake Blizzard. Like Blizzard hasn't approved. They have a fake amusement park over there of Warcraft and StarCraft that Blizzard has not signed off on.
What?
But it's in China, so like, what are they going to do? Go over there and stop them?
$280 million, and it only made $28 million here, accounting for 9% of its total revenue.
If you're a Warcraft fan and you're defending this movie, I hate you.
Uh-oh.
This is not
Uh-oh.
a good... There is so much... It could be good. It could be good. But defending these shitty movies, like defending
Batman vs.
Transformers,
Superman,
or Batman vs. Superman,
Yeah.
or even... Like, you can't tell these filmmakers that what they're making is actually good, because then they're going to keep spewing out this shit. And Duncan Jones is a good filmmaker. I like him.
Moon's a good movie.
He did as good as he possibly could with
He's
this.
fucking David Bowie's son.
I
Come
know.
on now.
He's got the gift in him. But we can't be defending these shitty movies just because they're based off something that we like. And because we're upset that people don't like them.
Yeah.
Like, be critical of it, and then maybe they'll make something good later. Or maybe you'll grow up to be a filmmaker and you'll make the good thing yourself. But don't fucking... Batman v Superman's a bad film, and you should be sad about it. Warcraft is a bad film, and you shouldn't defend it, okay? It has parts that are kind of cool. The CGI is impressive.
Is it?
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money on that CGI.
Yeah. I mean, they look like orcs. They don't look too fake.
Okay.
That one orc has a pierced tooth.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool, I guess. I don't fucking know.
I realized after we saw this movie that in the last couple months I've seen 2 video game movies of video games that I didn't play. And my favorite part of both of the video game movies was when someone got turned into a sheep.
No, you saw 3 Angry Birds.
Oh, well, yeah.
No one got turned into a sheep in that movie, though,
Oh, well,
so it didn't count.
I'm so sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene where, like, the main character is in a jail cell. It's like, I'm calm, you can let me out of jail. The guard's like, I'm not in jail. And then, like, the little, like, dipshit mage is like, what? And he turns into a sheep. And I'm like, oh, fucking finally, I can get out of his jail cell because that guy's a sheep now.
Okay, I think we've said enough about Warcraft. I think you have given it a cataclysmic. I think that's an expansion pack for Warcraft. A cataclysmic review of it. Oh,
Hey.
Man.
You are the Lich King. Oh, I don't fucking know. We're done.
All
Alright, so we're halfway through June, and there are more movies coming out in June. As the summer works, it is the summer. Not a very exciting summer, folks, but Finding Dory comes out soon. This is the sequel to the 2003 Pixar film Finding Nemo. I could not give a fuck, but people in our demographic fucking love Finding
I'm glad you said that because I'm the exact
don't
same
care
way.
either? Hallelujah!
I like that. And Finding Nemo is definitely one of those movies where everyone's like, "Oh my god, I love Finding Nemo. That is the best." And like that's fine, but I don't. And then when Finding Dory was announced, everyone's like, "We have to wait till 2016." Oh my god, I've waited my whole life. And
Have
it's like,
you, though? Because, like, Finding Nemo didn't warrant a sequel.
No,
Like,
it
at
had
no point...
definitive ending.
It had a definitive ending.
We
where
found Nemo.
Yeah. What the hell will happen now?
stupid goddamn fish just,
That's kind of
just
How to Train Your
stay where
Dragon.
they are.
We trained the dragon, but hey, here we are.
And, like, look, Finding Nemo, it's a good movie, okay?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. People like it a little too much. I've seen it way too many times. I've
Me
gone
too.
to
Fuck.
people's houses and they're like, let's watch a movie.
Yup.
Finding Nemo!
Yeah.
Yep, totally.
Or like you're in
That's
fucking
totally.
Spanish class and they're like, I'm gonna teach you Spanish and you're gonna watch Finding Nemo in Spanish. It's like, I've done this 4 times already! It's like, too bad, Ryan, you're gonna watch Finding Nemo again. Ah!
I wonder how that butt joke translates. It doesn't really translate well.
What butt? Oh,
Oh,
he
yeah.
touched the butt.
Touch the butt. That joke is so funny. I've seen so many gifs of it on the internet.
Aha.
You guys made me ink.
Man,
William Dafoe fish, scarred fish.
That's pretty
good,
funny.
though.
Oh, I didn't know that was him. That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. It's pretty good, especially coming right off of Spider-Man. It's pretty good.
He's still scarred in that movie.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, this will probably be a good movie. I mean,
Oh no, yeah, I'm sure it's
it'll
gonna be
probably
fine.
be fine.
I'm not just
Pixar
like,
makes good movies.
fucking yeah, buy the fucking Slim Jim.
Oh yeah, I got my Dory tattoo ready. I'm ripped. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Remember that guy who liked bubbles? That was cool.
Oh man.
Bubbles.
Yeah, that guy.
I liked the Shark Club.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Fish are friends, not food.
Oh,
Classic.
It's not a movie that deserves a sequel.
I mean, something. Did you see Good Dinosaur? Man, I think they lost it.
I didn't see that. But
didn't see that either.
Inside Out was the
It was
most
so-
genius film ever made, though. So like,
Whoa.
I don't think Inside Out's that great.
look,
Inside
man,
Out's good.
it's
Inside Out's good. I
It's a
wouldn't call
smart
it-
movie.
Yeah, it's good. It's smart. It's
It's a
heartfelt.
really
ever
smart
made.
movie,
It's
man.
not the best Pixar movie. I still think Ratatouille is the best Pixar movie.
Wow, you're in the minority there.
I feel like
people
I'm
forget.
scared-
people who
I'm-
have taste.
Oh.
Ratatouille.
Oh,
No, actually, I really like Cars. Cars is good.
What about Cars 2?
what about the
It
upcoming
does
Cars
have Michael
3?
Caine as a car.
I'm scared to name a Pixar movie because I'm scared I'm gonna get it wrong and it's like gonna be a different company and you're gonna yell at me.
Frozen.
Frozen's my favorite. Big Hero 6. Wreck-It Ralph.
All right, moving on from this Finding Dory. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be a shit.
No,
it's gonna be good. At worst, it'll be like forgettable, like Monsters University. But I think this will be better.
Man,
than
that was a shame. I think Monsters Inc. might be the best Pixar movie.
I
rewatch that like every once in a while. I was like, man,
Monsters Inc. is one of the
that
better
is
ones.
crazy how they even thought up of that and how it's
It is
as
a
good as
fucking
it is.
smart
I like
ass
that
fucking
movie a
movie.
lot.
And, yeah.
But then, yeah, the prequels were just kind of there.
The Monsters Inc. prequels just ruined the entire.
You ruined the continuity of the whole thing. Ah.
All right, Swiss Army Man. Daniel Radcliffe
Plays a corpse.
Mary Elizabeth Weinstein's on this. What?
What?
I just copied this list of starring people. I guess Mary Elizabeth Weinstein.
Oh, maybe she's the
girl?
lady that's on the phone in the trailer.
Okay, so yeah, Paul Dano. This is a film about these two guys who are on this island.
Well, one guy was on an island.
One guy is on an island to begin with, and he's about to kill himself, and then he finds this Daniel Radcliffe character who
Is
is
a
somehow, as it's he's a corpse, but as it's titled, he is the Swiss Army Man. Somehow
multi-use.
he's a multi-use human being. You can use him as a hammer,
a shotgun,
a shotgun.
catapult.
He's a compass, and the way the compass from the compass works as in whatever direction Daniel Radcliffe's corpse erection is pointing
Yes,
is the
boner.
way is the way home. And he farts, and he like teaches like this suicidal man the meaning of life. And it's like, this sounds stupid, but apparently it's like a genius movie.
Apparently, I don't know. Like, yeah.
And now and I'll see anything with Daniel Radcliffe in it, except for Harry
Sure.
Potter.
Now you see me too. we skipped over because you were so excited. Now you see me too.
Man, what?
So yeah, this film. It seems like these two guys like really getting to know each other and like exploring about who they are, while also being whimsy and silly because fucking Daniel Radcliffe started a fire by farting or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I hope it's good. People tell me it's good. I'll watch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The premise sounds so ridiculous, and the trailers look cool, but also a little too silly for me. So I don't know. But
We'll see.
I think it's a movie that's hard to market because it is so
it totally
crazy.
is. It does seem like a kind of like, man.
How do we sell
Do we lean
the
into the
Daniel
goofiness
Radcliffe
of it? Do we
farting
lean into
erection corpse
Yeah.
movie?
Do we lean into the heart of it, the goofiness of it? Like, I guess both, but they're so contrast so much. I don't. Mary Elizabeth Weinstein, huh? I didn't know she was on that. So there you go.
You see the movie now.
Right. Independence Day. They're back, Ryan.
They're back.
They're fucking back. ID 4.
Who's back? Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, he is
Yep.
actually.
A picture of Will Smith.
A picture of Will Smith.
Right. Yes.
We stole it from his house.
That dog. No, that dog's fucking dead. Remember that dog? From
Yeah, he
Independence
ran
Day?
away from the
With the
explosion.
fucking fires, like. Fuck that.
I just watched Independence Day for the first time
It's
like a
bad
month ago.
It's so bad. It's kind of good.
I enjoyed that part, the dog part.
Oh my god.
I wasn't paying attention very much to be fair. But
So yes, Independence Day is finally getting a sequel because fuck hell. if Jurassic Park showed us bring back something from the 90s, it'll make fucking bank, boy. And God knows Roland Emmerich hasn't had anything since 2012. He had that William Shakespeare movie called Anonymous that didn't go anywhere. No one even fucking remembers it.
Nope.
So, fucking, I hate Roland Emmerich. All Roland Emmerich's movies suck. But
the Day After Tomorrow
You didn't
made
like
so much sense.
2012?
no, I didn't like Godzilla. Oh, man. I didn't like 10,000 BC.
George, I think you're just a player hater.
Sure. Don't talk to me ever again. So, yeah, Independence Day is a bad movie, but the people remember it very fondly, and it did a lot of money, so everyone's seen it. Your mom, your dad, everyone's seen it. Seeing a sequel, the aliens are back, Jeff Goldblum's back, most of the cast is back. Except,
But it's got the bad Hemsworth in it.
It does. It's got Liam Hemsworth in it, because cheap Hemsworth... Well, I don't know. I think they're both pretty cheap, actually. I don't think...
Aren't there 3 Hemsworths?
There are 3, yes.
Oh.
But Chris Hemsworth, not the best box office track record.
I like to sneak into parties saying I'm the other Hemsworth. It always works out.
Ryan, when have you been to a party?
Yesterday.
where not every single person there already knows you.
So yeah, Bill Pullman, Micah Monroe from It Follows and The Guest, who is lovely and great. She's in this, but I don't think she's gonna have a signature. She's the daughter of the president.
She's reprising her role from Fifth Wave.
Right.
As the badass emo soldier.
God, I forgot.
Man. Oh, man.
The Fifth Wave, holy shit, like a decade ago.
That movie's the foundation of this podcast. How dare you?
So yeah, it's New Independence Day movie. I just put it on here because it's significant. I might watch it just to fucking, I don't know, because I hate myself. I don't know. The last movie I have on this list is The Shallows, and I don't know why I have it. This is a movie about a shark, and this girl is stranded on a rock?
Yeah.
An island?
She's swimming on, like, a beach, and then, like, there's 2 dude bros there, and she's like, oh, hey, dude bros, and like, well, what's up, man? And then, like, a shark just fucking eats one. She's like, oh, I gotta run to this rock for safety, because there's a shark. And then she's strapped on this rock because the shark won't leave for some reason.
Yeah, the shark's just hanging out. Well, because she gets bit, I believe.
Oh, so
because she was like, well, in the trailer we saw yesterday, I hadn't seen that one before, and she's like floating, and they're like, what do you call this place? It's called Paradise. And then she gets bitten, and there's blood, and she's like, oh god, and like, swims to the rock, and then the shark's just like, I'll wait here.
Oh yeah, so
that's fine.
So she's on this rock, she's bleeding out, and there's a shark. Yes. And there's no one around because she's at a secluded beach.
Because the 2 dude bros got eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a hard-to-find beach that her mom told her about, or some fucking.
She read about it on a map that she had to look at through a mirror to decipher, or something crazy. I don't know.
Right.
It was on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, of
she had to burn it out.
Man.
Yeah, that's a movie. I don't think I'll be watching it. I don't know why I put it on here. Maybe it'll, I don't know, maybe somehow.
Shark movie.
Somehow it'd be good. The last shark movie was Shark Night, which had someone from one of the Halloween Town movies, and I can't remember.
I think you're forgetting about the new hit Shark trilogy.
Oh,
Shut
fuck
up.
off.
Shut up.
I forgot.
Shut up.
Right. That's what I'm forgetting.
Shark Town.
You guys remember in Finding Nemo where he swims through the bubble thing and they're like, shark bait. Ooh, ah. I love Finding Nemo.
It all comes back around.
Holy shit. So yeah, that's the rest of June. Next episode probably will be very short because we gotta get back on schedule. We gotta get back on it.
Yeah, right. Jokes.
The Shallows. That's a bad name. That's a bad name for a movie, right? I'm not crazy.
It just makes me think of The Gallows, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh man. I was gonna say it's like one word difference, but it's not. Yeah. Okay.
It's too similar,
yeah.
too close.
Too close.
So yeah, that's May and June. And that was a podcast. That was a solid episode, guys. I think. I had fun. That was a fun ride.
I can't remember.
We do not hate Finding Nemo.
I cannot think of what movies that I recommended.
The Dark
I
Knight.
don't think you did like any of them. Popstar. I think.
Popstar.
But that's got a time stamp of 10 years. So.
Yeah, in 10 years, I'm gonna be like, that movie sucks. I hate it. Where's my wife?
Man, what a bummer.
Man.
June doesn't look that great either. Other than Swiss Army Man, maybe, and I'm sure Finding Dory will be great.
Just
movies suck. Why do we do this podcast? That's what I gotta say.
The darkness.
Movies are suck. The podcast.
Yeah.
We just rebrand. Like, get a big void stamp. Suck!
Okay, so, for movies that are real, I'm George.
Carrie.
I'm Ryan.
Goodbye. Have a great day.
Or don't.